Sami Shukri, welcome to the program. Can I start by asking you, what is the problem at the Rafah crossing? Why is aid not coming into Gaza for people?
Well, currently, there's a miles-long convoy of humanitarian assistance between Arish and Rafah with trucks on the side of the road awaiting the possibility of entering Gaza. The Rafah crossing over the last days has been bombed 4 times, among them once when we were trying to repair some of the damage. 4 Egyptian workers were injured. The crossing has sustained damage. The roads, access roads between the Egyptian and the Gazan side have severe damage and need repair. And thereby we do not have as well any authorization and clear, secure routes for those convoys to be able to enter safely and without any possibility of their being targeted. That is the current status and situation, and we are working diligently, hoping that there is a opening and a ability to repair the crossing so that the convoys can go in. There is a great need on the part of those that have been displaced from the north of Gaza, who are now in conditions of lack of food, water, shelter, and they are suffering immensely. But until now, there is no safe passage that's been granted, and no ability to repair the damage that has been inflicted on the crossing.
Okay. So we have seen, CNN has been reporting that indeed there have been airstrikes around Rafah, and we have shown it on our air today, plumes of smoke around that area. My question to you, though, is, even if it was open and that you allowed humanitarian convoys in, who are you willing to allow out? Because clearly there's a massive pressure. Palestinians are trying to flee. Would you accept tens, hundreds of thousands of desperate Palestinians into Egypt?
I see that this is a repeated question posed to us, and I wonder whether it shouldn't be the case that what should be allowed is the entrance of humanitarian assistance to provide for the Gazan peoples to remain on their territory. That transfer, that displacement, is in contravention to international humanitarian law. I don't understand in what is the purpose of the transfer, except if it is intentional, of vast numbers of people to a country that is already host to 9 million refugees, to have an additional influx of this nature. I believe that many European countries are very sensitive to this issue and do everything possible to avoid it. I know the United States has a problem on its southern border that it restricts the entry of those who seek it. So I wonder why Egypt should be presumed would allow for the influx of 1 million or 2 million inhabitants who are suffering because of the consequences of their being targeted unnecessarily.
I just want to know whether it's also an issue of worry that they would never be allowed back. For instance, the Jordanians have said any attempt to move Palestinians out of the occupied West Bank is a red line for them. And I'm wondering if you are concerned, like other Arab leaders are, and certainly Palestinians, that if even you did allow them in, that would be the end of their ability to go back into Gaza.
Well, that is certainly a possibility, and there might be an intention that they are forcibly thereby displaced, and that they lose their property and they lose their homeland for purposes of a political reason. And that is absolutely a violation if it doesn't constitute a war crime in itself, the displacement, the forcible displacement of a population of that size is unjustified and unwarranted.
Can I ask you about the hostages? Are you at all involved in trying to get Hamas to release the hostages? Do you know who is?
Everyone, I think, who is concerned in the region is eager to address this issue and to guarantee the safety and the release of all civilian hostages and detainees, Palestinian detainees as well. I believe that it would relax the current tensions, and it is necessary because of the nature of any form of attack on civilians. Whatever context we have, we will certainly apply to deal with the various aspects of the conflict and the crisis, including the hostage, if we are given an opportunity to do so.
Finally, there is an important report that says that your head of intelligence called Israel, particularly Benjamin Netanyahu, to alert him about something fierce happening from Gaza just days before the attack. Netanyahu denies it, but the US Congress, the Foreign Affairs Committee, has said they also heard those reports. What can you tell us about that?
No, I have no information in this regard. What I can tell you is that for more than a year and a half or more, we have constantly, in all of our discussions with our allies and friends in the United States, with our friends in Israel and in the region, we have always been warning that the cycle of violence will return if the current political stagnation and the lack of achievement of a solution to the conflict and the establishment of a Palestinian state remains in this state of non-implementation. That these are cycles that we have experienced in the past. This is not the first time that Gaza has erupted. This is the fourth time. We have had two intifadas in the West Bank and in the occupied territories. And this comes on the heels of the frustration and the lack of achievement and the lack of the implementation of the two-state solution. And I think our warnings, general warnings and expectation in this regard, again, have been put as an accurate evaluation.
So just on a personal level then, were you shocked by what happened, by what unfolded October 7th?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Horrendous to see whatever imagery of targeting civilians. It's totally unacceptable. Civilians should not be in any way subject to any form of military activity, and it was a shock, something that was deplorable.
Sameh Shukri, Foreign Minister from Egypt, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.